Hello, you're watching Vnews Bulletin. Bangor from another headlines as usual. Prime Minister requests developing self-reliant and modern defense industry. Promoting Vietnam and Laos judicial cooperation. And later on, revelations on altered localization ratio to be revoked. President Nguyễn Xuân Phúc received Prosecutor General of the Supreme People's Procuracy of Laos, Saysana Khufonthon, in Hanoi on August 22nd. Welcoming the Lao guests, President Phúc appreciated the effective cooperation between two procuracy agencies of the past time. This is a condition for the two sides to share information and experiences in judicial activities, Phúc stressed. The state leader affirmed that Vietnam is always ready to support the Lao Supreme People's Procuracy in all aspects and willing to provide scholarships for Lao procuracy officials. Prosecutor General Saysana Khufonthon, for his part, expressed gratitude for the president's welcome. He briefed the host leader on the cooperation between two procuracy agencies, including their close coordination in organizing the 7th Conference of the People's Procuracies of localities sharing the common border line. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính on August 22nd requested the development of a self-reliant and modern defense industry on the back of 3 key factors, namely scientific capacity, human resources, and institution building. Prime Minister Chính made the request at the Central Military Commission's conference in Hanoi on the implementation of the 13th Politburo resolution on promoting the development of defense industry till 2030 and following years. The Prime Minister ordered continuing to rearrange key defense industry establishments towards establishing modern and effective defense industry complexes, build special policies and mechanisms to draw high-quality human resources, funding and science technology for the field. He called for attention to developing the defense industry in the National Industrial Development Strategy and reinforcing collaboration among ministries, agencies and localities and international cooperation in the field. Vice Secretary of the Central Military Commission and Minister of National Defense General Phan Van Giang suggested ministries and agencies promptly concretize the resolution's contents into action plans, projects and roadmap. He also stressed the need to perfect institutions and legal corridor to realize the resolution and meet the target set. The National Assembly's Standing Committee and the government jointly held a conference in Hanoi on August 22nd to review progress of the law and ordinance making program in the 15th annual. The conference drew the participation of officials from ministries, sectors, central agencies, the Vietnam Fatherland Front Central Committee, and the Vietnam Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The delegates highly valued the Parliament's legislative reforms, including the expanded collection of feedback from people, businesses, experts, scientists, and especially the groups subject to draft laws, thus practically helping improve the draft's quality. National Assembly Chairman Vương Đình Huệ asked relevant parties to continue working closely with one another while listening to people and the business community so as to finalize difficult bills and secure high consensus. The top legislator also called for continued reforms of the lawmaking process and especially thorough grasping of the Party Central Committee's directions for anti-corruption. It also emerged to build mechanisms and rules for fighting corruption even during the lawmaking process and preventing policy corruption or group interests, he noted. Delegations from the Ministries of Justice of Vietnam and Laos held talks in Hanoi on August 22nd. Speaking at the talks, Vietnamese Minister of Justice Lê Thành Long highly appreciated the results of legal and judicial cooperation between Vietnam and Laos over the past 40 years. The Ministry of Justice of Vietnam will continue to support the work of perfecting the institution based on the needs of Laos and receive Lao students to study in Vietnam. The two sides agreed to strengthen cooperation in settling nationality-related cases of both sides' citizens. As for the Vietnamese-funded ODA project to support the Lao National Academy of Justice, the two ministries of justice agreed to work closely to finish the project in December this year, meeting the needs of training human resources for the Lao side. The northern province of Bắc Giang earned some $290 million from lychee sales and support services in 2022, according to the Provincial People's Committee. A total of 75,900 tons of lychee from Bắc Giang was shipped abroad, making up 38% of the accumulative sales. China, the US, Australia, Japan, the Republic of Korea, the Middle East, and some Southeast Asian nations were the main importers of the fruit. Bắc Giang's lychee, whose harvest season often lasts from mid-May to the end of July, is viewed as the national hub of the tropical fruit. The lychee has been sold across the country and put on shelves of major supermarkets like Go, Mega Market, Harper, along with domestic and foreign e-commerce platforms. Bắc Giang will go to expand domestic consumption channels, promote sales through e-commerce platforms, and boost exports to promising markets like Japan, the EU, Southeast Asia, the Middle East, apart from China, its traditional market. Regulations on the automobile localization ratio will be abolished on October 10, 2022, after having been in force for almost 20 years. The Ministry of Science and Technology in mid-August just enacted a circular to rescind current regulations on methods to calculate the automobile localization ratio in Vietnam. The new circular will take effect from August 1st this year. Under the current regulations, Vietnam calculates the automobile localization ratio by clusters of components produced in the country. Meanwhile, other countries calculate this as a percentage of domestic production value. Vietnam's automobile industry remains a fledgling one after more than 30 years since the country opened its door to foreign investment. The current average localization ratio of passenger cars with up to 9 seats is as low as 7 to 10%. It failed to meet the government's target of 30 to 40% by 2020, 40 to 45% by 2025, and 50 to 55% by 2030. Automotive experts said the abolition of these regulations is in line with the development and change of technological processes of automobile production and assembly in the country and the world to ensure transparency. The abolition will also have meet international standards. Vietnam exported over 4 million tons of rice in the first 7 months of this year to earn some $2 billion, up over 17% and 6% respectively against the same period last year. Despite a hike on export turnover, the average export price dropped 9.6% during the period to $489 per ton. With 1.98 million tons, the Philippines was still the biggest buyer of Vietnam's rice, accounting for 48.6% of total exports. It was followed by China, that made up more than 11% of the total. Vietnam will ship abroad some 2 million tons of rice in the remaining months to raise total export volume of the entire year to over 6 million tons, which is estimated to bring about $3 billion to the country. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, farmers growing thăm Dulcinea in the northwestern province of Dien Bien have faced difficulties in seeking consumption markets. The promotion of deep processing of thăm fruits is expected to be a sustainable path for the farmers. Tuo Tinh commune in Tuần Giáo district is the largest cultivation area of Tao Mèo in Điện Biên with nearly 150 hectares, an annual output of 900 tons. With advantages such as no need to spray fertilizer or care consuming, the apple-like fruits can bring economic efficiency for a long time.
My family is growing this tree with the hope of increasing our income. However, we are now very stuck in developing the tree since it is difficult to find the market.
The main consumers of this fruit are small-scale trade businesses and retailers. Therefore, the prices are normally unstable, especially during the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic. Recognizing the obstacles, local authorities have enabled the establishment of a clean farm produce cooperative, which is responsible for purchasing the fruits, then processes them into products such as dried fruits, jams, and cider vinegar.
We established the cooperative to have farmers sell their fruit. As regards the development plan, we aim to bring the products to consumers safely and effectively.
The cooperative applies biotechnology, scientific and technical advances to process apple cider vinegar into high-value products. It also formed a sustainable production and processing chain to raise incomes for Tao Mèo growers. Vietnam has now reopened to international tourism. Travel site The Cultural Trip recently listed 6 interesting activities in Vietnam that all visitors should experience while here. Visiting Hanoi's old quarter should not be missed when in the capital. In addition to a host of different items on sale, it also boasts unique architectural features with a mix of classical and modern. Shopping at floating markets in the Mekong Delta region is not only an interesting experience, but also a way for visitors to discover the local culture and understand the daily lives of local people. Eating food from street vendors in Ho Chi Minh City allows visitors to enjoy delicious food and learn about the lives of local people at the same time. In Hoi An and Shantal, visitors can readily find beautiful clothing at reasonable prices. Experiencing a rooftop bar in Ho Chi Minh City allows diners to also enjoy delicious cocktails and admire the city from above. Exploring the caves in Phong Nha Ke Bang National Park is an ideal stopover and a chance for those who love adventure tourism to experience new emotions, the travel site noted. Elephants are classified as critically endangered in the Vietnam Red Book and are included in the group with the highest conservation status, whose exploitation for commercial purposes is strictly prohibited. Vietnam is one of 13 countries where Asian elephants still live in the wild. The Central Highlands and Southern region are the habitat of most elephants in Vietnam. A national action plan on elephant conservation in Vietnam for 2023 to 2032 with a vision for 2050 is being developed. The recent efforts of state agencies have also received support from non-governmental organizations. Particularly, the Vietnam Administration of Forestry and Human Society International has provided support for a project on protecting Asian elephants in the southern province of Dong Nai through solutions to reduce and prevent human-elephant conflicts sustainably. According to the summary report of the General Department of Forestry, the number of elephants in Vietnam has reduced by 95%. In Dak Lak province alone, at least 23 white elephants died in the 2009 to 2016 period, accounting for about 25% of the total current herd.